Craft conversation.
Welcome, guys. Welcome back. It's only been a few days, but we're going to do another short show. I told you on the last episode, which I want to apologize. That last episode, the video was horrible. This one looks like it's doing okay. But we'll see. It still could be glitchy and all over the place. I'm trying to look. Yeah, I still think it's all fucked up, man. I might just be doing, I might be doing this one right here instead. Because this one just still looks like it, is freezing up on me. I can't tell. Anyway, what are we doing today, guys? Well, we're looking at the Warrior Expeditions Spark Hire site again. We've done this 2 times before. We did this once for the Mississippi River back in December of 2020. I did the interview online for you, and then I don't know if these lights are bothering you back here, but I like them on, so we're gonna keep them on, whether you like it or not. So we did that in 2020, and I got selected in January of 2021 to do the Mississippi River trip with Warrior Expeditions. And then I did actually a presentation for that trip in November. After we got back, I did that up at Coastal Coffee Roasters and put it out about an hour presentation on the journey and what it was like and what to expect and how it went and all that kind of stuff. Then last year, I decided I was going to try and do the Arizona Trail. They used to do 10 different expeditions. They used to do 8 different hikes. They did like the Arizona Trail. They did the Continental Divide Trail, the Florida Trail, the Buckeye Trail, the Mountains to Sea Trail in North Carolina. They did the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Coast Trail, all these different types of trails. I think an Ice Age Trail or something maybe was in there. And then I also did a bike ride from Washington, D.C. over to Washington State. Still got a little cold, guys. I'm sorry. And I also did the paddle. So the paddle, they did 8 different hikes and a bike. So now what they have done, and I learned this last year when I applied for the Arizona Trail, that they're no longer doing 8 trails. They consolidated down into 1 trail. It's just a lot more manageable to do just kind of one coastline, from Minnesota over to the coast. And the only time they have to worry about going to the West Coast is during the bike ride, and that's toward the end of the trip. So if they even do that, I'm not even sure what they do for the end of the trip, if they meet anybody over there or not. But I can see I'm already getting glitchy on this thing too. I don't know what the problem is. I need to kind of get in and maybe declutter the iPad and my phone and all that kind of stuff. I think maybe it's got too much junk on it, videos and pictures, all that stuff. Yeah, this one's definitely glitching out. So when I applied for that last year in, I guess that was December of 23, and I was planning to do the trip, the AZ Trail, starting in March of 24, they informed me that they were no longer doing that trail and that sorry, they couldn't accommodate me. So this year I decided, well, what the heck, let's try and let's just go big. Last year I was going to do just why is this thing glitching like that? Last year I was going to do just the AZ Trail, 800 miles. I figured I was going to be out in Arizona anyway. I might as well just do it while I'm out there and get it over with. And then this year I said, well, if the only trail they're doing is the Appalachian Trail, then I guess I'm applying for that. I really am not super interested in the bike ride. I don't do well with a bike seat, but who knows? Maybe one day. But not at this time. So here we go. We're going to go through this thing. Let's go back to the screen here. So Warrior Expeditions is a veteran nonprofit outdoor therapy program that helps veterans transition from their wartime experiences through long-distance outdoor expeditions. Warrior Expeditions provides veterans with everything they need to complete a long-distance outdoor expedition, which includes outfitting the veterans with some of the most highly rated equipment, clothing, and supplies available from the outdoor retail industry, providing gear and skills training needed to successfully complete the expedition, and shadows the veterans during the first leg of their journey to answer questions and troubleshoot issues, and then coordinating community support in the forms of transportation, lodging, and food from community supporters located along the trail. So basically what we did last time with Mississippi River is they give us a list of supporters along the river, mostly VFWs, Veterans of Foreign Wars and American Legions. Sometimes it was just regular veterans that were along the trail or along the river that wanted to be river angels, river supporters. So gave us a list. We had a list of numbers to call and addresses and, kind of staggered along the way to make it a little more accessible and a little easier to get off river and get support as needed. They stayed with us for, I think, about the first 5 days of that trip. They didn't paddle, but they would put us on the water, and then they would mosey on in their vehicles to the put out spot that they would select for us that day, and then we'd take out. They'd fix any gear problems and give any more education that they needed to give, and then put us back on the water the next morning. And we did that for about 5 days, so they felt comfortable that we were good to let loose and kick us out of the nest, as they say. So that's basically the same thing that they would do on the trail here. Instead of having river angels, they have trail angels and trail magic and all those types of things. They would have supporters set up in towns along the way and give us all the gear that we need to be successful, start us off on the right foot, as it were, and get us going. So the river trip took us about 94 days total, day times. Day count, and then the Appalachian Trail would probably take us a good 5 to 6 months, just depending on how everybody felt, how quickly people wanted to go. People wanted to stay together, break up in faster, slower groups, what have you. So I would expect 6 months is what my expectation would be. So a little bit longer trip. So we're going to go through this interview, and it's just an online interview. It's a one-way interview. So I get on here and do this thing. Just looking at the screen, and let's make sure everything works here before I get you onto the screen. It's your email address, so we'll use my Brian Dale's email address. Craft Conversations. I didn't get logged into this, so hopefully I can get logged in, and we're not going to have any issues with that, but please check your email to continue. I kind of knew that was going to happen. I'm going to pause and come back to you in a minute because I got to do a couple things before I get set in. I don't want to have this thing taken forever. So I'll come back. All right, guys, did you miss me? We're back in. I turned the other phone off. I got us back into the computer. I had to go to a different website. I was on a browser that didn't support the interview, and then I had to remember my email password. I had to go, it sent me an email to verify it was me. I had to go to the email, had to get a code sent to my phone, whole thing. So, but we're back. We're back. All right, guys, just calm down. So we're going to go right into this interview and try and make this thing short and sweet. All right. Here we go. This is Mr. Sean Gobin. He is the founder and CEO of Warrior Expeditions. And I got to turn this fan off. I had the fan on for a second. Let's see if we can hear him on the speaker here. I'm really not prepared to do this at all, guys, but I forgot to plug my speaker in, so let's plug that in. There we go. See if we can get that to connect. See if we get that to connect. Connect it. And let's see. Let's see if we can hear what we got going on here. Let's see if I got the volume turned up. Let's see what Sean's got to say.
Hi, my name is Sean Gobin, and I'm the founder and executive director of Warrior Expeditions. First off, I'd like to say thank you very much for taking the time to participate in the application process. You're about phase 2 of the process, which is the online interview. The online interview is comprised of 10 short questions, and you will have 1.5 minutes to answer each question. So relax, take your time, and remember there are no right or wrong answers. At the completion of the online interview, you will watch another video, which will then describe what happens next.
All right, so there you go, guys. We're going to continue. We're going to hope that the connection is good. I haven't even tested the connection, but that works so far. So hopefully all is good in internet land. Let's check, see if we can still connect to your previous hardware. Welcome back. Check the hardware. Use your camera, use your microphone. We're going to allow. Got to access the camera and mic. I'm doing an online interview, obviously, so they got to be able to see me. They got to be able to hear me. Couldn't connect to your media devices. Following errors were occurred when trying to connect to your media devices. Not readable error. Information on how to resolve this. All right. Stand by. I'll be back. And we're back. Take 3. We are back in. I think we are good to go. Let me add the laptop back in here. And I think we are good to go. I had to switch it over to the my personal hotspot for some reason. I don't know why. I got full bars on my Wi-Fi out here, but it's not working. So we're going to go through step by step. The interview will not start until you're ready. FaceTime camera built in. Yes. Internal microphone built in. Yes, I see the meter going. So we got some sound going on. One or more aspects of your internet connection are dangerously slow. You may still proceed, but this will result in a poor quality video and could even result in loss of connectivity and failure to complete the interview. We highly recommend you find a higher quality internet connection before proceeding. Well, I think, what do you think, guys? Think we should push it? Yeah, I think we'll just push it, man. We'll take a chance. We'll take a chance on it. Rerun speed test. Upload speed, download speed. It's connecting, testing. Upload speed looks good. Download speed says good. Let's continue. Setup is complete. Let's just start the interview, man. Let's do it. Tired of messing around. 10 questions. Think time is unlimited take, so I can retake if I don't like what I said and I want to do it again. He said 1.5 minutes on the intro video there, but it actually says here that they're allotting me 1 minute per question, so we'll see what happens. Both previous times, it's always been 1 minute that you had to answer the question. So, yeah, so let's go in here. Let's view the question. And actually, you know what? We're gonna go back 1 second. Sorry, guys. I do want to do a practice video because I don't know if I've got my video set up in the right frame or not. So let's check the hardware again. Continue. Do a practice video. Start practice. Let's see. We'll just get directly into the lights here. Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Hey, just doing a practice video. Let me change these lights here and see if that makes it any better. What do you think? No lights? Lights. Let's do lights in the background. It makes it fun. We'll do lights in the background. We'll stop recording. Hey, just doing a practice video. Change these lights here and see if that makes it any better. What do you think? No lights? Lights. Let's do lights in the background. It makes it fun. All right. I got it. That seems like we're a go for liftoff. Hopefully it's better than Elon Musk did the other day. And let's get started. Continue your interview. And view the question. First question. Describe what types of jobs you performed and what types of missions you participated in during your combat deployments. All right. Pretty cut and dry. Got 1 minute. Hey, so yes, I was a physical therapy and occupational therapy technician in charge of those departments in the Air Force. When I deployed to Balad, Iraq, and when you deploy out of the medical group, you deploy as basically as a medic. I mean, we obviously did physical and occupational therapy jobs over there, but our primary job was medic, and we took care of mostly the mass casualties that came through the hospital or just regular injuries throughout the course of a day. You know, on forward operating bases, they would truck those guys in, fly them in, helicopter, whatever, and bring them into our hospital. We were the second, number 2 trauma hospital in theater in Iraq at that time, up in Balad. The first echelon of care there was at Baghdad, but we were the second biggest trauma center in country. So that was it. Basically a medic. Hey, so yes, I was a physical therapy and occupational therapy technician in charge of those departments in the Air Force. When I deployed to through it. I'm not going to come back to this video anymore because it's glitching, so we're just going to press on. I might come back and say hi periodically, but press on question number 2. Describe your transition experience after returning home from your combat deployments and after leaving your military service. All right, here we go. 1 minute. Yeah, the transitions are always hard. You know, I was actually stationed in Elmendorf, Alaska at the time. So when I left to go to my deployment, it was about 50 degrees. Got to Iraq, or went through, you know, a couple of different countries on the way through to Kuwait and Qatar and some different places, and, 120 degrees when I got to Iraq. So, coming back from that, after seeing what I saw, you know, the aftermath, the results of war, and coming back to the frigid climate of Alaska and the greenness and out of the sand was a big transition, and trying to get back into husband and father and regular job and those type things. And then, of course, the same thing, transitioning from military to civilian life, just trying to really figure out who you are and where you fit in the big scheme of things now that you're not, a senior NCO in the military. Now you got to kind of figure your life out again and start from scratch. So big transitions on both sides. Yeah, the transitions are always hard. You know, I was actually stationed in Elmendorf, Alaska at the time. So when I left to go to my deployment, it was about 50 degrees. All right. Got to submitted question number 2. I think that went all right. I'm just kind of winging it, just off the top of my head. I just do one take, and that's kind of how I live my life, man. Just just one take. If it goes good the first time, great. If not, then oh well. I'll try it some other time in a different way, maybe. But most times I'm doing just one take. Question number 3 of 10. Describe all health issues and substance abuse issues you have now or have had in the past. All right. Go right into it. We got 1 minute. Yeah, so health issues, substance abuse problems. So kind of like everyone, you know, some knee problems, some ankle problems, some back problems, a little bit of PTSD as well, diagnosed. I got a condition called polycythemia vera that I think I picked up while deployed from the burn pits, and, working on that through the PACT Act that was just introduced a couple years ago. And substance abuse, struggled with definitely some, after deployment and after separation, was definitely some alcohol abuse, maybe a little bit of other substances as well, but mainly alcohol abuse, and actually ended up in a couple DUIs, one that almost kept me off of the Mississippi River on the original trip that I did with Warrior Expeditions. So it was a bit of a transition, and got a handle on it now. All good. Hopefully. So injury, health issues, substance abuse problems. So kind of like everyone, some knee problems, some some back problems. I just said I don't do retakes, but I'm going to do a little retake on that one. Diagnosed. I got a condition called polycythemia vera. I'm going to do a retake on this. It'll be similar, but I didn't quite like the way I ended it there. But so yeah, like most people, I guess, little back injuries, knees, shoulders, ankles. I got some diagnosed PTSD that I still deal with. Condition called polycythemia vera that I picked up, I believe, from the burn pits in Iraq, and working on that through the PACT Act to get coverage through that. And definitely post deployment and post retirement and divorce, all these things at once. Definitely had some alcohol issues, a couple of DUIs in the past, one that almost kept me from participating in the Mississippi River back in 2021. But I keep a handle on those most times. Sometimes, some things come up and happen in life that kind of push me back towards some of those habits. And, the war in Ukraine, Gaza. I mean, some of these things kind of put some bad thoughts back into your head, but we press on. So yeah, like most people, I guess, I felt like that was a little bit better. Shoulders, ankles, got some diagnosed PT. A little more coherent, better ending on that. So we'll push on. Number 4 of 10. I wish they would just do this one-on-one and actually talk to you. I think it would be better, but I know they don't have the time for it with the 400 or so applicants that they get. Describe your outdoor experience with regards to hiking, biking, and paddling. All right, this would be pretty easy. Been pretty much an endurance athlete since probably 2008 when I attempted my first marathon in Honolulu. I've done 7 marathons. I've done a 50 miler and 2 50K, so 3 ultra marathons. I've done a triathlon. Just did my 12th Spartan race. And then I've always been a kayaker, a hiker, mountains anywhere I go, I hike in the mountains. And did the Mississippi River Source to Sea with you guys back in 2021. So a lot of outdoor experience. Not as much hiking or camping experience as I like to have, but I can get out there and endure with the best of them. So I feel like this would be right up my alley. I live in South Carolina. It traverses me through a lot of friends across the East Coast. My son in New York, and some friends actually in the Finnish in Maine. So I think it's going to be glorious, and I look forward to it. Been pretty much an endurance athlete since probably 2008 when I attempted my first marathon. I've done still uploading
7 marathons. I've done a 50 miler and 2 50K.
Finish
so 3
uploading. Submit it.
I've done a triathlon.
Go.
Just did my 12th Spartan race.
Submit. Moving right along, guys. We're up to we're halfway there. Question 5. See what we got. Warrior Expeditions supports 1 hiking trail, 1 biking trail, and 1 paddling trail. State each of the trail names you are interested in completing and why you are interested in that particular trail. All right. Well, as you guys know that are watching this, probably most likely you know that I did the Mississippi River back in 2021 and completed it. Me and the 4 guys that started, we all finished. So that was a plus. We didn't finish together, unfortunately, but we all 4 did finish. And I tried to do the Arizona Trail last year, and you guys informed me that you weren't doing those other supplemental trails anymore, that you were just doing the AT Trail. So that's where I would like to go this year. I live on the East Coast. My goal is to knock out all 50 states eventually, and most of those states are in the Northwest, or the Northeast, the New England states up there. So that would help me knock off a goal of all 50 states. That would help me see and visit some friends up along the East Coast. My son lives in New York, so he would probably be able to do some hiking with me as well up there, and some other friends along the way. So yeah, looking forward to it. I've always wanted to do it since growing up here, and this is my time.
Well,
as you guys know that are watching this, probably most likely,
that's really my only option. I don't want to do the river again. Although I would.
Me and the four guys
but
started,
I don't want
finished, to. So that was.
I've told people I would do the Mississippi River again under certain circumstances. If it was the right person that asked me to go, or the right group of people that wanted to go and do it, and take advantage of my expertise, I would definitely do it with the right people. But with Warrior Expeditions, again, probably not. Not because I didn't like them, but just because I've been there, done that already. So the trail was the only thing that interests me. Like I said, I'm not a big bike rider. My gonads do not really like the bike seat for that long of a time, which that would be a 6-month trip as well. So I'm not really that interested in that. I'm sure they would give me the proper gear for it, and I'm sure they would prep me for it and have the right biking pants and shorts and the seats and all this stuff. But and I'm sure you get used to it, just like my ass got used to sitting in a seat in a canoe the whole time. But I don't think it's for me. Question number 6 coming at you. Question number 6. Warrior Expeditions trails take approximately 3 to 6 months to complete. State your availability to complete a trail between the months of March and September. How do your family and friends feel about you leaving for 3 to 6 months? Again, as you guys probably know, if you remember me, live in a travel trailer pretty much full time. I'm fully retired. I have a full income, retirement, and pretty much ready to go at any time. Didn't have any problem doing the Mississippi River. Took over 94 days to do that. I've got support along the way. It's even better because I'm actually on the East Coast this time, so I have a little bit more support, personal support, on top of you guys' support. I do have one dog that I would have to leave with my parents for 5 to 6 months, but that's okay. They're fine with it. And, available, ready to go. I think it'd be a blast, and I think, you would be well represented. Thank you.
Again, as you guys probably
that was a little weird ending, but they knew me.
Live in a travel trailer pretty much full time. I'm fully retired. I have
and I can kind of roll through these because I've done this interview twice before, and it's the same questions basically. So here we go. Question 7. Although Warrior Expeditions provides everything needed to complete a long-distance expedition, we recommend you have access to $500 per month while on the trail. Therefore, will you have access to $500 per month while on the trail? We've already answered this. I don't need a minute, but like I said in the previous question, fully retired. I've got a disability coming in retirement, and $500 would be no problem on trail. No problem at all. Piece of cake.
like I said in the previous question,
no use using a full minute for that. What am I going to do?
In retirement, and $500 would be no problem on trail.
We'll submit that one. And here we go. Question number 8. Rolling right along. Is anyone planning on joining you for the entire trail? Do you plan on bringing a dog? Is your dog a service dog? Not that I'm aware of at the present moment. No one is planning on doing the entire trail with me. I do have people that would definitely do section hikes of the trail with me, probably through a little bit of Georgia, probably some people in North Carolina, maybe somebody in New York, maybe some people in Maine. Like I said, I do have a dog. She's not a service dog. I would love to take her, but to be honest, I don't think she would do very well. I think she would be in for about 2-3 miles a day at most. I'm sure she would get better along the way, but I know it's pretty much has to be a service dog. So, and she is not, and she's not ready for it. So nobody's going to do the entire trail that I know of, But stand by. There's a couple of people that I could think of that would possibly want to do it, but I just don't know if they have the 5 to 6 months to take off to do it with me, although they would love to. So probably not. Probably just me.
Not that I'm aware of at the present moment. No one is planning on doing the entire trail.
So yeah, they normally, it has to be a service dog if you're going to take an animal with you.
Of the trail with me, probably through a little bit of Georgia.
I had my other dog, Leia, when I did the Mississippi River, and I really would have loved to take her. I think she would have been a perfect dog for it, but she wasn't officially a service dog, so, and probably not. It was hard enough, carrying all the gear that we had in those canoes without having a 70-pound dog in it, or a 60-pound dog, whatever, at the same time. So, and I don't think Cutie Pie would be up to a 2,100-mile hike. She'd love to be out there, but she wouldn't like to be out there hiking all that time. Question 9 out of 10. Warrior Expeditions outfits our veterans with high-end gear donated by our sponsors. Therefore, do you have any issues using the gear donated by our sponsors? Warrior Expeditions coordinates community support in the forms of transportation, lodging, and meals from volunteers located along the trail. Therefore, do you have any issues being hosted by community supporters along the trail? All right. Yeah, pretty much the status quo. I mean, that was the same way it was on the river. We had supporters along the way, and we had to use the gear that we were allotted. Although, of course, we did pick up a few odds and ends along the way, some extra stuff that we felt like we maybe would benefit from. Had no problem with the supporters. Sometimes a couple of them didn't quite work out as far as timing and where we were. Some of them worked out better than we expected. So definitely would have no problem. I mean, the more support, the better. And it gives these supporters, things to look forward to throughout the year as well. So, or every season, to have these people come along, I'm sure they get a big joy out of supporting us. So, yeah, no problem. Give me all the gear and give me all the support. We appreciate it.
Yeah, pretty much the status quo. I mean, that was the same way it was on the river. We had supporters along the way, and we had...
All right, coming up on the final question. Question 10 of 10. Here we go. Question 10. What do you hope to get out of the experience of completing a long-distance outdoor expedition? What do I expect to get out of it? Well, I would hope to get the same things that I got out of the Mississippi River trip. I mean, a little bit of calmness, a little bit of connection with nature and the universe again. Time to get away from some of the turmoil of the world. Things, obviously you guys know, you guys are in the news. Things have been a little upended over the past 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 years right now. So it's kind of good to take a break and get away from things and get back to really seeing what America looks like and what the real people are out there, and not just what you see on the news and all the hate, and to get back to some love and to some reconnection with people, and connected as a whole, as a universe, and realizing that we're all here together and we're all in this together, and nobody gets out alive. We might as well enjoy it while we're here. So just some peace and serenity and reconnection.
What do I expect to get out of it? Well, I hope...
All right, guys. Well, here we go. I'm wearing my... my nipples are hard. I'm wearing my...
time to get away from some of the turmoil.
American Cancer Society shirt that I picked up for my donation and my support for the Cancer Society through...
Hello again, and congratulations on...
Hold on, let's see what this guy says.
During the months of November and December, the Warrior Expedition staff will review each application.
We'll go back and reset this so you can hear what Sean has to say here at the end.
Hello again, and congratulations on completing your application. During the months of November and December, the Warrior Expedition staff will review each application submitted, and then you will be notified either way during the first week of January. Now, typically, Warrior Expeditions receives hundreds of applications each year, but we only have enough resources to support about 40 veterans per year. So for those veterans who are not selected this year, please understand it's just an issue of limited resources. And therefore, we highly encourage you to reapply again next year. In the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at info@warriorhike.org. And thank you once again for taking the time to complete the Warrior Expeditions application process.
All right, we're going to hit continue. Interview completed. Please rate this interview. So basically what I was saying was I got this shirt for doing the what did I do? I did the 50-mile ruck in September, and then this month I was supposed to be doing 100 push-ups a day. Full disclosure, I went to New York. I was pretty much inebriated or hungover the first the first 3 days I was there in New York. And then I ended up picking up COVID, so I didn't do any push-ups. I got about 10 days into November and started feeling like I could do some push-ups. I started getting my energy back and was able to breathe. And I was already 1,000 push-ups down at that point, so I pretty much have given up on it. I am doing some push-ups daily, but I'm only getting about 50 in a day right now. But I got the T-shirt regardless, so. All right, says my battery's getting ready to go out here on my iPad, so I'm going to finish up my comments on my interview experience here, and then we're going to hit submit on this thing, and we'll find out the first week of January what happens, guys. So appreciate you watching, and we will talk to you soon.